Hey everybody, this is Doe with another StarCraft 2 broadcast. By popular demand, here is FruitSeller spawning at the 9 o'clock position on Metalopolis, sending out his Overlord to do a little bit of scouting right away. And his opponent this game will be ogsInCa, and ogsInCa obviously playing for OGS in Korea, sister team to Team Liquid. And I did want to clarify something too. Inca is actually a different Inca than you may see in other replays. There's an Inca that I believe spells it with an INKA instead of an INCA, and I think he's a European player, but I'm not 100% sure. He could be American. Looks like this Inca though putting on his first pylon, and looks like he's planning on doing some sort of a wall off there. Protoss, some prefer to wall off against Zergs, some don't. It's always interesting to see which they choose. Looks like FruitSeller bring out his Overlord there. And that's kind of interesting too, as I've noticed FruitSeller does do that 10 Overlord. There's been kind of some debate whether it's better to do a 9 Overlord or a 10 Overlord, or to do the extractor trick and then go in Overlord, but I think in the end it really all turns out to be about the same, so FruitSeller opting to go with the 10 Overlord in this particular case. And it looks like he's probably going to be thinking about expanding possibly. He doesn't know that he's on cross positions yet, so if he does decide to do hatch first, it is a little bit of a gutsy move, but it wouldn't be too surprising to see that from him. Looks like we do have a probe going across to scout this close position here, just barely poking in there. Doesn't really want to give away where his position is in case FruitSeller would have been there, so always a smart decision to do that. No reason to tell your opponent right where you're at. And it looks like FruitSeller as well, sending out his Overlord. Where he is there? There is Overlord. Trying to see if he's at that other type of close position with his opponent on this map. And it looks like Inca chrono boosting out some probes there and putting down his gateway, kind of doing a little bit more for that wall off. And it looks like we do have a hatchery going down for FruitSeller right after the spawning pool, a little bit after the spawning pool anyway, so it looks like doing some sort of 14 hatch, 15 pool possibly. Spawning pool does just finish now for FruitSeller, starting to build his first queen, and it looks like actually Inca is expanding as well. So wow, Inca also doing a fast expand build, which is not something you see a whole lot as Protoss, although I have to say I have seen it more often from the Korean players than from the American or European players, so we're going to have to see how this does. A little bit risky to fast expand against Zerg, I think, in my opinion anyway. And we do have a forge going down, so it looks like he's probably going to put up some cannons to try to defend this natural. And no gas yet for ogsInCa too, so a little bit of a late gas. We're going to have to see how that comes into play. I think between the cannons and the zealot, he's chrono boosting out here. He's going to be just fine. Looks like we do have Zerglings chasing a probe across the map there. And that probe may be able to get in and get some scouting information to see what FruitSeller is up to, but that queen is going to stop it cold, so FruitSeller doing a good job of getting that queen there just in time as she makes her slow way down to the hatchery, which has just finished. Looks like we do have one gas up for FruitSeller as well at the moment, and some Zerglings trying to poke into Inca's base a little bit, get a clue as to what's going on, and he will see that early expansion. Two cannons just about finishing now for FruitSeller, for Inca, and FruitSeller is going to have to pull back with those Zerglings. Two of his buddies joining him here. We have a quad of Zerglings now, that's what I'm going to call that. Passing by the Manx statue, they are not intimidated by the Dominion one bit. And it looks like we do have FruitSeller getting his Overlord in position. Zerglings poking in, but they are going to be chased back by that Zealot. Doing a little bit of damage, taking a little bit of damage to the Zergling as well. Just shield damage, so that's not going to be a problem. And it looks like we do have a Cybernetics core coming in with another Zealot being chrono boosted out, as well as a gas. That probe not quite getting there in time. Looks like he must have just put those probes in gas with that one delaying there for just a moment. Zerglings exploring the map again for FruitSeller, and if we go back to FruitSeller's base, let's see what we have going here. Looks like just bringing out probes, or drones rather, for now, but he did get his second gas and is bringing his hatchery up to a lair. We do have some Zealots moving out across the map for Inca, and this may be a little bit of a problem for FruitSeller if Inca decides to pursue this with more than just a couple Zealots, as FruitSeller doesn't really have a whole lot to defend with right now. No spine crawlers, just a couple Zerglings, although speed is being built. This is an older replay, so let me see where that at. Yeah, speed just starting now for FruitSeller, so in a little bit of a rough position, a little bit of a battle going on between the Zerglings and the Zealots, but the Zealots are going to be able to take those Zerglings easily. Zealots now pushing into the natural of FruitSeller. That queen is going to come to defend. Some Zerglings spawning just in time, and it looks like FruitSeller is going to be able to push Inca back here. Although Inca, wow, doing some nice micro there with those Zealots, pulling them back just a little bit to let the Zerglings get in as few hits as possible, but those Zealots are going to go down. Inca able to take out a few more Zerglings rather than usual with that, so nice job there. Overlord sees that it is safe to push in because there hasn't been any stalkers showing up yet for Inca. So FruitSeller getting a good look at what his opponent's doing. We have 3 gateways at the moment. I take it back, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 gateways from Inca right now. So going heavy gateway composition and creating kind of a wall too to prevent those Zerglings from getting in, just in case FruitSeller would do some sort of speedling attack later on, which it looks like he is, of course, planning on using those speedlings. Both gases up at the natural at the moment, and we do have a spire going down too for FruitSeller. That spire tucked away behind the mineral line is almost finished, so it looks like FruitSeller going for a Mutaling build, and we're going to have to see how successful that is against Inca's fast expand build, some speedlings. Now with that speed enhancement moving in to see if they can take a look, and it looks like there was maybe a little bit of lag there. I wonder if the players paused for a second. I can't read Korean, but I would guess that that might be what that means. These gateways now finishing for Inca. We do see he has a sentry in place where he can do a force field here, or here, so he's able to kind of keep things under control with that. But he is starting to push out a little bit with his force. That's a lot of sentries there, and it looks like Inca has put down a 3rd base at the moment. These speedlings can see if they can cause a little bit of damage, but they are being forced back. Those sentries aren't going to have too much of a problem handling those. Speedlings pushing in just to make sure. Someone's pinging the map over at FruitSeller's base. Let's see what's going on there. Oh, I see Mutalisk just finishing now for FruitSeller, moving out across the map with that. So FruitSeller heading out to see if he can do some damage, kind of poke away at Inca and take out some drones possibly, or a few buildings. I'll have to see how successful this ends up being. That is 6 Mutalisks, so not a small number, but definitely not anything to kind of ignore either. And we do have him moving in, trying to take out some probes at the main of Inca. Cannon just finishing now, so great timing from Inca with that cannon. That cannon is going to go down real fast, but he is warping in 2 stalkers there. Sentries coming in to clean that up, and these Mutalisks will be pushed back, not doing a terribly high amount of damage. We do have Blink being researched as well for Inca, so that's going to definitely help against those Mutalisks. So right now, FruitSeller, and it looks like he is taking a far 3rd base there, so a little bit of a secret expansion there for FruitSeller. Some Zerglings camping out right outside the 3rd base of Inca. Some more cannons going down there. 4 cannons, he does not want to have to worry about that base at all from those Zerglings at the moment. Mutalisks coming in though, and they do take out 1 sentry, and he's going to go right for that cannon. I don't know if this is going to be enough Mutalisks to take out those cannons, but it looks like he's doing a fairly good job right now. First cannon does go down, but some more stalkers warping in from Inca, and some more stalkers. Great Blink getting underneath those Mutalisks and forcing those back. So FruitSeller again pushed back right at that attack. No speedlings coming in there at all for FruitSeller at the moment either. So just trying to do a little bit of early harass with those Mutalisks while he's waiting for his speedling numbers to grow. If we go to the units tab, it looks like 22 speedlings right now for FruitSeller, and he's going to move in and try to take out this 3rd base, but Inca does have some sentries and stalkers waiting for him. Great force fields there from Inca, making a wall so those speedlings can't get in and do anything, basically negating half of FruitSeller's army. And we do have some speedlings trying to get into the natural, but they are forced back as soon as they see those cannons as well. FruitSeller looks like he is regrouping a little bit, but these Mutalisks are moving in to try to do a little bit more damage. Something being chrono boosted on the forge there. It looks like that is weapons level 1. Great blink up by the stalkers, forcing the Mutalisks back again. So FruitSeller continuously trying to put the pressure on his opponent, but getting forced back over and over again by the blink stalker utilage that Inca is doing. Utilage, I just invented a word. All right. And FruitSeller moving around the map as well. Looks like, let's go to the production tab real quick while he tries to move into the main of Inca. Inca blinking up again with those stalkers, and looks like FruitSeller is going to just try to take on the stalker army that bounced from the Mutalisk shot, doing a little bit of extra damage here. But Inca is able to bring in some sentries to push it back again. And if we look at the production tab, which we already did have open, a lot of stalkers coming in right now for Inca. So Inca going very blink stalker heavy, and I think that's going to be a big problem for FruitSeller, just roaming around the map with those units. If we go back to FruitSeller's base right now, it looks like no upgrades quite yet at all. I don't believe he's got any upgrades for ground or air at the moment, so maybe a little bit of a lapse in concentration from FruitSeller, not really getting any of those upgrades. But it looks like that hidden base is up and functioning, and it doesn't look like Inca has found it yet. Inca moving out with a large army at the moment, so it looks like Inca is thinking of going in and attacking his opponent at this point. Oh, looks like another attack from FruitSeller, but again, that blink makes a huge difference. bring in, attacking with those speedlings, but Inca is able to wall off with the force fields. Stalker's blinking down ahead of the force fields to take out those Mutalisks, and FruitSeller again forced back by the sentries and stalkers of Inca. FruitSeller again having to pull back and regroup, but that does give him a chance to take this 5th base. It's been up for a little while, hasn't really been saturated at all yet, but that is going to provide a significant income boost. Looks like at this point though, Inca ahead in the economy, 77 over 55. Gatherers where it looks like, yeah, so that 3rd base, being that he has 3 bases that are fully saturated at the moment, that's making a huge deal, and that's letting him push out across the map too, taking out some of those overlords that have been giving FruitSeller some scouting information. There's just action going on all over the map at the moment. It's hard to keep up with. Looks like those speedlings caught a little bit out of position, as well as those Mutalisks, and Inca basically moving across the map now, killing overlords at will. But it looks like we do have a speedling incursion coming at the natural, but they are forced back by that cannon, and it does look like Dark Templar are out for Inca. That's going to be a serious problem for FruitSeller. I don't believe he has any observers, or overseers rather, anywhere on the map. Putting up some spine crawlers, but that's not going to help a whole lot. FruitSeller might not have actually noticed those Dark Templars. No, I don't think he did. No reaction from FruitSeller at all. Dark Templars coming in, one going out to check out to see if this base is taken, and this Dark Templar is going to start to cause some serious damage for FruitSeller. Looks like FruitSeller does realize it now, goes in for a last-ditch effort, but no, that is it. FruitSeller GG's, and Inca with some great defense, a little bit of a turtling Protoss there with a great use of Blink Stalkers and Sentries to nullify the Speedling and Mutalisk attack of FruitSeller, able to take out the win with those Dark Templars. Dark Templars doing such a lot of damage if you can surprise your opponent with them. So yeah, great little game on Metalopolis. If you like what you heard and saw, please subscribe and tell your friends. Otherwise, this has been Doa. Keep playing StarCraft, guys, and I'll see you on the next cast.